Sometimes I ask my husband why didn't he marry someone smarter. He has a PhD, he does science, he does all the things that I'm never good at. He's logical, he's methodical, and in contrast, I feel like I'm way more stupid than him, conventionally speaking. I'm never the brightest student in the class, never really good at science. What's in me that he found that made him attracted to me? Wonder why is it he hasn't found someone who is a better match for him, both academically and family background. Maybe find someone who has a PhD as well. But the funny thing is, he never ever said that I'm not good enough for him. The question is always instilled in my own head that I feel that I'm insufficient. So to understand why is it I have this insecurity in my own head, I start to look back of my life and trying to figure out what was the trigger. I've never been the brightest kid in school. I was always distracted. I remember doing a mock exam for Gaokao, which is college entrance exam in China. In a mock exam, I did 18 out of 120 in a physics exam, and now I married someone who has a PhD in physics. It just sounds very ironic to me. I was considered the lazy child, the lazy student, the lazy daughter, the undisciplined person, and that thought has stayed in me. Given my experience, I didn't go to a good university either, but it's a third-tier university. It's not reputable. It's considered someone can just pay and get their education. But in my case, it's not entirely true. From the first time, I did something that I found interesting. I did English translation, I did literature, grammar studies, I did French, and I did all the things that I never discovered before in high school. And I was really into it. I really liked it, so I put a lot of effort in it. I get up very early in the morning. I did all the readings. I always did good at exams. In there, I was considered a smart and a good kid. I remember in order to improve my spoken English, I would watch Friends, the American show Friends, again and again and again. I'd look at the subtitles and write the phrases that I've never heard before. I was never this passionate about one subject. And then I became a little bit confused. Maybe I'm not stupid as people around me used to say. Maybe I am smart. Maybe I am diligent. Maybe I'm not lazy, like what they said to me. Looking back, university didn't really make me stop caring about how people ranked me. It just gave me something new to prove that they were wrong. Even though I thought I started to see myself differently, I was still judging myself by the same standard they had used against me. But during summer holiday and winter holiday, I had to travel back to my hometown and go to dinner parties with my mother's friends again. The old feeling of being stupid came back to me like a thunderstorm again. I was being jokingly said that I was never focused in school. I was being compared that my university is not a proper one. I was being compared that, you're just doing this language thing. It's not a smart major and you have a difficult time finding a job afterwards. It bashes me back to my own little corner and feel self-pity and feel bad about myself again, that maybe they're right. Maybe I am not smart, maybe I am lazy. My college campus became my little sanctuary, and it helps me to escape from the endless criticize from my own family, my mom's friends around me, where their only standard was this Gaokao score. So after graduating from my college, I found a job in a different city. It's a small company. It wasn't paid really well in the beginning as well. And that accentuated my mom's theory. She thinks that it's because of my Gaokao, it's my university. This is the best I can get because my education history wasn't the best. The older I get, the more worry she has in terms of my educational background. She thinks not only I cannot find a proper job, I cannot find a proper partner either. Because sure, no one wants to go in a relationship with someone who has a third-tier educational background. And that feeling stayed with me. I always feel that I'm insufficient. I always feel like I'm not good enough for a lot of people, and that might be a lot of the reason that I ended up having bad relationship and being with someone who I consider to be smart, but not really good person for me. I applied a master's degree in Ireland, and I went to UCT to do my master's degree. So I graduated with a first class honor. And to my mom, that's such a big win that this master's degree has washed off my first degree, that I'm suddenly more proper and more successful and more eligible to find someone that I can eventually be a better match. So earlier this year, I traveled back to China with my new family, with my husband and my newborn baby. I went to this dinner party with my parents, with my mom's friends again. To them this time, I'm no longer this not eligible bachelorette in town who has bad education, who is considered as not smart, stupid, lazy, undisciplined. To them, I'm successful. Now my degree is higher, and I have someone who is smart. At the dinner party, there was one woman trying to compliment me. She said, you used to be the worst performing kid out of all the kids at your age group. We used to think you're incapable, and we think you're just never really interested in study, and you went to this really bad university, and we also always just think you're okay. But look at you now. You went to a different country, you have this lovely family, and your husband even have a PhD. Good for you. You're living such a successful life now. And I didn't really take it as a compliment from her. I feel like she's still judging the 30 years old me with some exam that I had 15, 14 years ago. And that's still their only way to judge how successful a person can be. Now, after giving birth here, I didn't go back to work immediately, and I decided to stay in the house with my newborn baby and to mind him and to support my family and to find my own passion instead of going back to office work immediately. So I'm taking a step back. But I also find myself at every dinner parties with my husband's friends or family that I couldn't give people a straightforward answer of what do you do. Everyone else has a clean has a clean and dry title. I'm a lawyer, I'm a dentist, I work for a big pharma company. But when the question turns back to me, I start to tell them, I used to work in tech, I used to work in advertising, I used to do a master's program here in Ireland, but now I'm just at home minding my own child. I'm also trying to make some YouTube content. I'm also reading and writing. I'm also knitting. I just want people not to dismiss me and not to take me unseriously. I kept defending myself and providing evidence for people. I'm still trying to turn the little evidence in my life of child minding and house building into something more tangible. I don't want it to be lost into the mundane daily life and only my family get to witness it. I know I don't want people to judge me by my education or by whether I have a proper job, but even though I know that, I still find myself trying to fit into the same ranking system and prove that what I'm doing has value. Even now, when I'm at home looking after my baby, I still want to put my thoughts and my work on YouTube. And if people watch it, then I have views. Another number I can use to tell myself that I'm doing well. So I don't think I've escaped the need to be ranked. I think I've just found a different way of doing it. And that brings me back to my husband. When I ask him why he did not marry someone smarter, he does not understand the question in the way I meant it. To him, choosing someone to build a life with is not similar to matching CV. He wanted someone who loved him, who made him feel comfortable and desired, someone he wanted to come home to, someone with whom he could build an ordinary life and feel that life belonged to both of them. At first, his answer felt too simple to me. What about intelligence? What about education? What about being suitable matched? But perhaps that's because I had been trained to overlook any quality that could not be easily ranked. Curiosity does not always produce a certificate. Kindness does not need an entrance exam. A prestigious title may tell you that someone knows a good deal about one project. It does not tell you how it feels to live side by side to them. I'm not saying that I don't value education. I still value education. I'm grateful of what I had. I'm proud that the girl who got 18 out of 120 in a physics exam, who eventually graduated from a master's program with a first honor degree. But I no longer want one institution, one exam, or one job title to become a complete explanation of a human being. I also cannot pretend that I escaped this kind of thinking. I still mention my masters when I feel insecure and undermined. I want my video to perform well because views is another different score. Sometimes I still look at my husband and wonder what did I do that he found me a good match for him. But now I think I understand what I'm really asking. Maybe I'm not asking why did you marry me? Maybe I was asking him to overrule verdict I received when I was young. I was asking whether he could know which university I attended, what I achieved, what I failed to achieve, what I do for work and what I don't do, and still refused to rank me by those things. My husband did not choose the applicant with the most perfect matching qualifications. He chose the person with whom he wanted a life. I understand that when I look at him. I'm still trying to learn to understand that when I look at myself.